Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back once again with the Renegade Master. I'm your Dreadlock caster, RedRipz. Woohoo! Right here for another episode of CasualCraft. On today's game, we have a Diamond League game. Now this is obviously Heart of the Swarm, and this is episode 52 of CasualCraft. We're here on Polar Night LE. Now today's brother from another mother, down at the bottom in the centre of the map here, because obviously there's only two spawning positions on this map. It is the red Zerg player, Oystein. Yeah! Woo! He's today's brother from another mother, as I say, and up at the top of the map, the world-class, internationally recognised hero of all ladders, today's sister from another mister. It's better known as Barcode. It's the barcoded player, the Blue Terran, up at the top of the map here on Polar Night LE, and we're in for an exciting game today, I feel, as both players straight away getting on with their builds, nothing too out of the way, no silly little cheeses or anything we need to be annoyed about, just straight on with macro, it looks like, unless we're going to get anything stupid out here, we will wait and see. Now, obviously, this is, as I say, Diamond League game. At least I think it was Diamond. Could have been Masters. My colour might not have been quite right. Diamond Masters, it's high level anyway. Basically, we're not sighting bronze. We're doing our best to get into the higher leagues right here now, right in here and now. So with that, we've got what looks like, I'd imagine, either a CC first. We're not rushing to get the barracks out here, so I think it's going to be... nope, it's actually just going to be an engineering bay down in the expansion of our Zerg player here, who's not going to be able to get an expansion straight away, as we can now see. He's going to try and kill this off, see what happens. I'm not sure if this is just a block or if we're planning some kind of crazy planetary fortress play, but this SCV isn't quite going to die. He's going to get away on 5 health. That was quite nice there out of our barcoded player, just pulling that back just in time before Oystein could get there and kill off that SCV. This isn't going to be finishing up. We're not going to be seeing the PF rush, I don't think, today. Instead, it looks like we're just going to be seeing the engineering bay die here in the natural and probably move into a macro game. Meanwhile, our Zerg player has got a spawning pool down, and as I endeavour to speak more slowly, reminding myself once again to slow the fuck down, we should be expecting some sort of macro game here now. Both players have done relatively latey stuff. We've got the command center first build here out of our barcoded player, and basically the engineering bay is there to block the expansion of the Zerg player, which I said Oystein has actually gone and taken a second up at his third. So really, it's not done that much. It's still annoying. It's kind of like the pylon blocks that you see out of Protoss players. Nothing too horrible, and Oystein isn't really going to bother with any sort of quick response to that. The barracks was quite late out, but he's does look like he'll just be going straight into more drones. He's going to get a couple of Zerglings out here at the front, but nothing too much, just to help clear this out. And we'll probably be seeing a 3-base build straight away out of Oystein, while our barcode player decides to go for the simpler 2-base for now. We'll have to wait and see. He's still getting the engineering bay down at the front here, though, interestingly. So I think we're going to see... I mean, I guess Bio, obviously, because he's bothered getting the engineering base so early, so we'll probably be getting some early upgrades out if that's going to be the case. Either that or he's really is still going for this planetary fortress, which I love. Meanwhile, his barracks is finishing up. We've got the double refineries down early, though, so we're either going to see some early tech or possibly some sort of fast switch up into something more like, I don't know, tanks? Would that be a thing in ZVT? I think not. It's usually Marine Marauder Medivac with just biocentric builds. Although I have seen some interesting, I've seen some mech play. What was it called, that player? There's a guy that Day 9 was demonstrating recently was insisting on going mech still against Terrans, against Zergs, and he was making it work. And I can't remember the names of the builds or anything quite as fun as that. And we are definitely getting the PF down at the front here, yeah. So it looks like perhaps not quite the bio build I'd envisaged there. Straight into Planetary Fortress at the front. This is going to be really useful. This is quite a wide choke to wall off there, really, and with other entrances as well, it's probably quite useful to have a PF on the low ground here. I don't really like it. I always prefer really to see command centers down with the orbital command upgrade like this one on the high ground, but it's all good. It happens, I guess. And one PF we have here in the natural. So yeah, it does look like it's just going to go straight into the mech here. Maybe, I'm not sure. We're getting the factory down as well, immediately behind the barracks there, rather than getting out additional barracks before that factory. So we might have to wait and see what he decides to do here. Meanwhile, we're getting double extractors out in our Zerg's main base here. He says his third base has finished up now, and he will be just generally looking to fill these up with drones nice and quickly, nothing too out of the blue. Now, today's cast, I guess, is sponsored by Spitfire Kentish Ale. Not that I'm drinking it, I'm just happen to have a glass with water in it. You'll just excuse me drinking in the middle of a cast. It's not even a sponsorship, I just own a Spitfire glass. Alright, yeah, I get it. So we're seeing a 1-1-1 build here out of our barcode player. He's, I mean, not the usual sort of 1-1-1. We've ended up getting a PF and an engineering bay out before the straight up 1-1-1. But with the tech lab coming down there as well, I think we might be seeing some Banshee play here. As the starport's finishing up, he's going to move this down on top of this, and yep, that's absolutely what we're going to see here. I think we're going to be getting Banshees out pretty soon, which would be nice. Banshees are always good against Zerg players, I think, because Zerg struggles to defend against air units. I mean, really, all they really have in their base to start with is the Queen. Although actually, with double Swarm Crawlers coming out now, I'm not sure what has. Have we clocked the Banshees yet? No, you see, we haven't. I'm interested that he's building spawn crawlers solely. Maybe he just expects this sort of thing now. It's that kind of stage. And yeah, straight away we're going to be seeing the starting Raven energy increased as the Vikings are going to be coming out instead. This is a really weird build here out of our barcode player. He's doing all sorts of crazy stuff. Straight into the Planetary Fortress, followed by the Raven energy upgrade, and he's getting out Vikings while he does that. So, I mean, obviously the Vikings are useful. You can wander around, take out those overlords, stop them being extra vision on these additional bases. And meanwhile, supply block our Zerg player, as I'm sure we're all pretty familiar with. You can be quite happily just, doing your thing. Ah, all my troubles today, they seem so far away. Spawn more overlords! And you're just like, oh my god, I forgot to spawn. And I'm sure the Protoss players know just what I mean as well, and you Terrans there with your lack of supply depots, and you need additional pylons or whatever. Everything's, yeah, it's infuriating, isn't it? But it looks like we've seen some missile turrets coming down here in the main base of our barcode player now. He's doing all very good there. I suppose he's expecting some air, either that or some invisible units, really, I guess. But you don't normally build this many things for the sort of roach burrowed units and that sort of thing against Zerg. It tends to be more just air units you're building the missile turrets for. So I guess he's expecting mutas, and he's actually getting about four starports behind this. So I think we're going to see a mass Raven build here now, is what I'd suggest. I mean, if we're getting this many starports down, we're already building Ravens, we've got the Raven energy upgrade. I wouldn't put it past him, I'll be honest. I mean, we're getting an extra command centre down as well here. Meanwhile, our Zerg player's gone for the layer tech, and it's just generally doing good stuff. He's getting the Spire down right at the back of this base here, so this is generally going to be quite good for Oystein here, as obviously he's going to have the mutas out nice and early, but with all these missile turrets down, he's really going to struggle to get into this main base, and there's a similar thing going on at the second base of our Terran player here, who is actually falling behind slightly in terms of economy. I mean, there is no way that these Zerglings are ever going to get anywhere near this line, but with this really sort of heavily defended two-base strategy here, I think we might see our Terran expand down the back, I mean, I'm not 100% sure, but I think this one over the far side will be a little bit far away and be really weak to run-bys, so I think our Terran player might well move down the back, but we'll have to wait and see. His Viking's still wandering around, doing its best to find what's going on. We're also getting high-sec auto-tracking out here as well for the +1 turret upgrade for the range and that, so yeah, okay, fair enough. So I guess he's just lots of static defence is generally the plan here for our Terran player. Meanwhile, we're getting a Baneling nest now out of Oystein down at the bottom end of the map. He's going to be going to Ling Baneling and Mutalisk. Very, very standard Zerg play here, and we should be expecting to see some huge connections here. Now we're going to get the command centre down at the front here, and actually this isn't so bad. Like I prefer this spot actually to the one further back here, mostly because if we just zoom out, we can have a little look at the way the map's laid out. Now our Terran player can sit with his army here, and yes, he'll be weak to run-bys from this way, but he can very easily move back and corner this between the PF and whatever's up on the high ground here. Equally, of course, he can sit at the front and defend this. I mean, we're going to see some muta pressure here, although this is going to get shut down pretty quickly, it looks like, by these... Keep flying backwards. Oh, no, that was a huge connection there. Not quite killing any Mutalisks off, I don't think, but close enough. We're another good connection like that, and that'll be very much the end of that. And with actually, with the missile turrets not having any SCBs here to defend them, this is actually kind of difficult here for our barcode player. We really need to sort of get his shit together in this respect. And the mutas are going to be forced to pull back, but we're not going to see any deaths of mutas here, I don't think. And that's not really that good. He needs to be making sure he's killing off these Mutalisks, because otherwise, well, it's just very much going to be the end of our Terran player here. Now, as I was saying about the maps before, I mean, you can try and defend this thing, but you've got to run down and back up here quite a lot, and it's much easier for the Zerg player to run in through the front. Whereas I think that if you're here, you can very easily pick up and drop between the low and high ground as well. We're going to see some pressure now in the main base here with the Mutalisks coming over the top. Just not really doing too much damage. They've obviously spotted all the missile turrets, and with that, they're going to have to move back. But with quite a lot less health there. But I mean, to be fair, they do have the health regen, which, as you can see, their health's all gradually going back up now. If we just have a look there, yeah, we're all getting back on the orange and red health there, on the orange and yellow health there. So they will be surviving that. And with nearly double supply now, our Zerg player's in a really, really good position here. He's built a general army of Ling Baneling at the front, mostly Banelings it seems here now, after that huge sort of morph there of units. We're also getting Terran building armor. I love this Terran. He's going mass Raven, and he's building all the really weird upgrades that no one seems to build, or at least not till the end of the game, because everyone's usually so focused on bio. So I love the fact that he's going this build, and although he has found himself on half the supply of his opponent, it's still pretty entertaining. So we'll have to wait and see where this one goes. Now we've got the Mutalist moving in once again here for Oystein. He's going for the 1/1 ground upgrades at long last, and also getting these Baneling speed upgrade. And we're actually going to see all these SCVs die here. This is an atrocious time to move your SCVs across, and with pretty much all but 2 of those SCVs dying. God, that was not very nice there for our Zerg player, who will be nicely pulling back out the way of these what you call it, the God, I always forget the name of those Seeker missiles, and he's going to completely avoid those. So no problems there really. And I'll be honest, Ravens aren't really that good against the Mutalisk. If you can just pull back because they've got so much acceleration to avoid the Seeker missiles, there's really no danger to the Zerg player as long as he's keeping a good eye on what his troops are doing. And I mean, I'd quite like to see him moving out at some point really with his ground troops, but I guess with this many planetary fortresses on the ground, it's sort of a little bit difficult here for him to just barge into the bases. But I guess he can get some huge Baneling hits on these bases and go through them pretty quickly, but then is that really worth it? I'm never sure about Banelings being used on larger buildings like this. I just don't feel like it's worth it unless you're going to take a strategic position and then push in behind it to win the game. And we're just going to see endless auto turrets down here now around this end of the map here. We're going to get the mules coming in as well underneath all this vast cloud of ravens we've got going on. Meanwhile, Oystein still building up troops. He's going for the maxed out cap. Meanwhile, our Terran player has found himself supply blocked at a mere 81 supply. He's now 100 supply behind his opponent, and I'm just generally struggling to see what he's actually going to be able to do here now. So we're going to get a huge move out here out of Oystein now, and I think he's just generally going to overwhelm our barcode player here. Really, I'm not really sure what our barcode player is hoping to do, other than maybe get some huge Raven connections. But with that, we're going to see the huge engagement now, and with all the Banelings coming in straight through the middle of this, I think we're just going to see a huge surround on this, and there we go. Everything just falls straight away, and this third base of Oystein is no more to be seen. Now we're going to move the army of our Zerg player is going to move round. He's going to try and just make sure there's nothing on this low ground down here, I'd imagine. If he's no, so he's got the Ling there already, and we will be getting a huge bust here at the front here now, and we're going to see this connecting straight away with the factory, just getting through that. And now with the huge amount of Zerglings coming in behind this, it's really difficult to see what our barcode player is going to be able to do here now. And he really needs to sort of get as many of these turrets down as possible, and then start knocking in the Seeker missiles. But with this many Banelings down on the map as well coming in here, there's going to be a bit of a difficulty here for our barcode player to continue defending this. I mean, Oystein's still on double supply despite all those huge Baneling hits, and with Enduring Locust coming out now as well, it does look like he's going to be making the Swarm Host switch any second now, especially with the Hive coming out as well. We're moving at the 3/3 upgrades. We're getting the Great Aspire out as well. We might even see some Broodlords out today. Out of our Zerg player here, just generally getting all the tech he can. He's so far ahead in this game now, it's really difficult to see what our barcode player is going to be able to do. He's going to try and build 2 more expansions down here, but with this many Zerglings running around the map, there's really nothing. He's not going to be able to get down to that. There's just, no, I'm not really very convinced here. So, yeah, barcode player is going to continue trying to camp up. He's got so many spare command centers now. I'm really not sure what his crack is with these. He just keeps building them, and now we're going to see a huge attack coming out of Oystein here. Yeah, the Banelings are rolling on through, huge connections there, and we're going to go all the way around the PF, and that's going to fall straight away to a huge number of Banelings. And with everything in the second base falling here now, we've got well more than double supply once again for Oystein over our barcoded player here, and with more and more upgrades finishing up, 20 more Zerglings on the way. What is this, asks Oystein? And I can only really agree, because I mean, I guess our barcode player is just trying out new stuff. He just keeps building command centers left, right, and center. He's going to come and drop these 2 down the front here to try and wall in once again. But with single Zerglings in the bases here, I mean, yeah, they're going to get taken out by the auto turrets. But like this mass Raven build, not quite pulling it off here. Now we're going to keep getting the PFs down at the front, possibly see some more CV production at some point. That might be quite nice. He doesn't really have any left. I think there's only there's the 13 in the main base plus the 6 on either side, and yeah, we've got a few more down here, but really not that many to talk about now as our barcoded player is looking at a pretty atrocious situation here. Now I'd quite like to see Oystein doing something with these Mutalisks maybe. I mean, it is kind of difficult since there's so many missile turrets down now, but he could probably come in and poke at the back here, maybe pick off a tech lab, something like that. And And with that, we're going to see the huge Raven move out across the middle here. Yeah, really going strong here for our barcoded player. That's all he cares about, mass Ravens. And with Ultralisk coming down as well now, I actually don't know what Oystein's going to do here. He's just sort of building all the tech that he can. And we're going to see a huge chunk of Banelings moving out across the map here, with the Ravens just sitting on top, not really doing that much. Zergling's moving around everywhere, and our Zerg player now up to 7 bases. Six bases he's on here now. This expansion might well get taken down, but at this point, it's just kind of like, well, what's going to happen after that? I mean, we're seeing double PF coming out the front here. These are going to fall straight away. We've got so many Banelings down here. They're just going to tumble on past, and we're going to head up straight into the main base as well. And yeah, front wall goes down. So many SCVs going to fall there as well. And with Oystein now dropping below 70 supply, with our barcode player dropping below 70 supply here as well, it's a little bit difficult to see what he's really planning to do here. I mean, all these Ravens are basically idle. I'm not sure why he got the energy upgrade, since he's got so much energy on all these mixed together. To be honest, it'd be nice if he did things like this, like moved in and dropped loads of these down. But with the anti-air defense here already, it's a bit mixed up really. We've got all these corruptors going down as well here. I mean, as long as we get some splits on those, we might not see too much damage from these Seeker missiles, but actually they are going to connect there. We're going to see some quite nice connections, but still I just don't feel like this build's really going to work for our barcoded player, although he does actually have so many auto turrets now in this main base here, and they last so long, man. 3 minutes of just constant fire. It's an absolute ball ache to deal with, and we're going to basically we need to see these corruptors moving out, killing off as many of these as we can, and then some sort of flood of lings to come in and deal with this to save the tech. Either that or just rebuild the tech further back. We've seen all these Ravens use up basically all their energy for now, and actually no, sorry, there's still quite a lot of energy left on those. So yeah, slightly more energy than I thought. Oystein dropping to 100 supply now, as he's really trying to struggle to clear this up, but with so many turrets down, it's a little bit difficult to see really. I mean, they're going to go through these Zerglings. Like, these Zerglings are never going to finish all this off, I don't think. And although with more flooding in, he might just get through it. I mean, we've got 30 more coming in. This is going to get cleared up eventually. I don't think we'll be seeing the anything like the infestation pit falling quite yet. But yeah, quite a lot of damage there out of our barcode player. Perhaps not as much as Oystein would have liked to have taken. And the same thing's going to happen again in this base over the far side now. He really needs to get that anti-air sorted out to come and deal with these Ravens, because if he keeps allowing this to happen, he's going to see quite a lot of his bases die. I mean, like, he hasn't actually managed to take down the hive there. That would have been quite nice if some of the auto turrets had actually targeted stuff down. Like, for example, they are here. They're going to go and take out this expansion. But with these corruptors just sitting idle, not really trying to deal with the Ravens, it's quite interesting how much the barcode players come back into the game now. It's like, excuse me, it's like he's suddenly woken up and just decided to do some attacking, whereas Oystein, on the other hand, is completely fallen a relapse, and he's completely relapsed into doing nothing, and is actually now just trying to desperately deal with all these different auto turrets in these bases of his. So he's going to lose the second base there. That's all completely gone now. So that's 2 bases and quite a chunk of the front of his tech there. I mean, it's not too atrocious really. I mean, I think these 2 turrets are going to end up sitting there killing off single drones and stuff, but that's about it. I think Oystein should be able to get his shit together now, as long as he can be aware of what's going on with these this massive storm of Ravens that we've got going on here. So it does look like this game might go on for a little bit longer than I thought. We are going to see continued upgrades there. We're getting the Zerg melee attacks out now. We're getting the upgrade for the Ultralisks as well, and obviously once they're down, they're going to be able to deal with pretty much anything. We've got double command centers coming over to this left-hand base for some reason. Not quite sure why. I can understand 1, 2 seems a bit excessive, but I guess he's going double planetary at every base pretty much. So with that in mind, it's nothing's really surprising me out of our barcoded player here today, because he's done so many weird builds. And with the corruptors just sort of hanging amongst this group, I think we should be seeing the end of a lot of these Ravens if they can just stay away from the point defense drones and just kind of not get caught up in the auto turrets either. We should hopefully be able to see some of these Ravens targeted down now. Our barcode player is, however, still mining. I mean, he just had that 3rd base up there as well, and he's doing pretty good, to be honest. Like, I'm surprised he stayed in this as long as he has, but Oystein's now dropped to below 50 supply, and with barcode going more and more Ravens, it's just looking really strong. I mean, yeah, he's getting out the barracks at the front again, and like not really building that much beyond that. 5 more Ravens though coming in straight away, as I say that. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see really, I guess. Oystein's now dropped below 60 supply here, and he's just really struggling to deal with any of this. And all these free units are... It's really interesting to see a Zerg player being beaten down by a Terran player using free units. It's just totally bizarre. So we might have to see some sort of gathering of units here out of Oystein before he tries to deal with these. He's basically at the moment he's just sending in his troops piecemeal, and is just generally losing a lot of units for very little reason, other than just trying to clear out these point defense drones. So yeah, not really sure what he's going to do now at this stage. He's going to get another base down. He looks like he's trying to compose himself. I'd maybe like to see this thing mining out some more, but I mean, he's just got quite a stack of resources as well. So I think at this stage he's just sort of struggling for lava, but with no lava injects going off, with these full energy queens hanging around, it's yeah, his macro just seems to have sort of stopped at this point, Oystein. So quite like to see him making the move to recover that and maybe just sort of get some more troops out again, because he was so far ahead. I mean, he basically won the game, and then now Barcode Player just suddenly turned it around with this mass Raven, and has essentially got auto turrets all over the map now. So yeah, we're going to see the Barcode Player moving out again. He's got so many Ravens there. That's 22 on the map now, with 2 more in progress to build as well. So that's going to be 24 Ravens he's going to have out here, plus so many command centers, 3 more building now. We've got so many all over this place, and actually I really like this idea. I mean, I guess the static defense, if you get enough anti-air turrets and enough planetary fortresses out, then no Zerg army is going to get in there very easily, and the Ravens do deal quite a lot of AoE, and with all the free units that they can drop down, they can take out these Zerg bases quite comfortably. As we've been watching, like, I mean, he's lost so many Zerglings here as Oystein, and with our Barcode Player now going up to the 100 supply for the first time all game, it's actually looking really strong. I mean, we're going to get Newell Parasite out as well, out of the Infestation Pit. I mean, he's not really built any Infestors or used anything much in the way of the tech that he's been building, so a little bit interesting to see what he's going to do with that, but we'll just have to wait and see what Oystein decides to go with, since he's so hastily built all the tech but hasn't really built anything with it. I mean, I know he's not, you know, the most well off, but he's still got over 1,000 in each, and well, nearly 5,000 gas built up, so he could really be starting to get the Broodlords together. I mean, oh, he's going for the Swarm Host now, so it looks like we're seeing Swarm Host play here out of Oystein now. Basically, if he can get those up, he should be absolutely fine. You can just move the Swarm Hosts away from the auto turrets, and any auto turrets that are down, you can just send swarm units into, and then really it's just a case of getting out the anti-air to deal with these Ravens, because I'll be honest, I would have liked to have seen these die so far. We are going to see some Infestors, however, giving our Barcode Player a taste of his own medicine. These seem to have snuck in. I didn't actually see those get in there. I think they've either snuck in underneath buildings or well, I'm not sure how they got in there. Possibly an Overlord drop or something, maybe? I'm not entirely sure, but those are going to be just dropping more and more units in the main base. Not really enough of them right now, so with that we're going to see the Raven come over. They're going to be spotted, and we're going to see 2 mines on those, and they're both going to die straight away. The mine's taking out the Investors straight away without any real bother there. Now, they've got the auto turrets taking down this additional hatchery here. Yet another base of Oystein going down before it's barely begun building. Now, we're going to see a massive amount of auto turrets again in the second base of Oystein here, just as he's starting to get his tech together. And there's actually not really much that Oystein can do here. I mean, I'd quite like to see him get the Swarm Host together and start rallying some troops into this, because they'd go through this pretty well. But he's not really doing anything with that. And with a bunch more auto turrets going down in this base as well, he's just sort of struggling on all fronts here. And it does look like he's going to actually lay siege now to this expansion of our Barcode Player here, but well, he's going to need more Swarm Hosts than that to make any sort of swift impression on that base, really. So yeah, it's sort of both players just kind of hanging on, and everything just sort of slowing down, really, as both players just try and clear out each other's bases with 3 units. But it's yeah, looking a bit difficult here now. So we're going to get the Ravens moving forward once again, putting down mass amount of auto turrets in this main base here of Oystein. I think once again this is going to do a hell of a lot of damage to our Zerg player, and this is going to be a quite difficult situation for him to get out of. He needs to recover his tech, try and get some of these lava injects going again, and hopefully just sort of continue the macro. And I think we're going to see this planetary fortress fall. I mean, I'm not sure if it might. No, I think the health is generally just going up, so it doesn't look like the Swarm Hosts are quite enough to take it out. But with obviously our Barcode Player having to pile so many resources into this to keep it alive, it's a little bit difficult here for him, as he's eventually going to mine out of his various bases, since he doesn't really have that much in the way of mining bases now. He's elected not to clear out the ice there, and has gone for the Bronze League strategy of just put 2 bases next to it and distance mine. Meanwhile, we've got auto turrets absolutely everywhere now, up to more than, we've got 23 Ravens down now. Auto turrets absolutely everywhere. We're clearing out Oystein stuff, and now the game basically is completely flipped around. Our Barcode Player's got double the supply of Oystein, and Oystein is just desperately trying to cling on and hopefully do some damage to these bases. And I mean, he's causing a lot of economical damage here to our Barcode Player, forcing him to keep repairing like this, but it's not really enough, really. He needs to be doing more than this now. And we've got the Infestors clearing out these auto turrets again. Not really enough of that. And with the this last base here of Oystein getting covered once again in auto turrets here, I'm absolutely amazed, to be honest. It almost looks like our Barcode player might have actually just pulled this off. Like, he was right on the brink of destruction. Like, this second base fell. He basically had this one remaining main base, but then he just decided to turn it around all of a sudden and started using his units and basically just got everything together. And although we still don't have any sort of... Did we ever get the... Oh yeah, we did get the adrenal glands upgrade for the infestors, so they do have slightly more energy than the default, which wasn't the case before. I hasten to add. So yeah, some interesting plays there. I'm just kind of trying to work out which way this game's going to go. Really, I mean, like we're not defending any of these bases, is Oystein. He's just basically trying desperately to keep up with them, but isn't quite managing. Although, actually, it does look like this PF might finally be on its way out now. Just winning the war. And, yeah, Barco player saying, I think it's game. Well, we'll have to wait and see, really, mate. Not entirely sure. Pretty silly, I'll say. Absolutely. And with this last hatchery here for Oystein, I do think that that the Barco player might finally be taking this game now, and yes, it does look like it. The last of our Zerg players' spawning buildings is about to fall, and this looks like the end of the line here for Oystein now. It's one of the most bizarre games I think I've ever casted, and we're going to even see the swarm host dying here now as well as massive amounts of. What, for goodness sake, Seeker missiles coming. Seeker missiles. Seeker missiles. Seeking. I need to seek out that name and remember the bastard thing. It's basically my conclusion there. And with the last base of Oystein falling now, he's got one more hatchery down here on the far left. I can't see this surviving very long unless we can get some huge. Oh, that fungal missed. I genuinely thought you might get, if you could have had some huge fungals on those, then that could have been game changing. But I mean, I don't know if it would have been really enough with Oystein just on 33 now and not even throwing out a GG. He's just going to leave the game. Our Barcode player, wow, man, I'm impressed you made that work, mate. Really impressed. I mean, perhaps Oystein didn't deal with it quite right, but at the same time, like, you were on your last legs, mate. Absolutely on your last legs. Completely turned it around and came out the game as the winner. So, well, yeah, that was absolutely the most bizarre game of StarCraft I've seen in the last few episodes, easily at least, if not the last 20-30 episodes. Certainly since that, I remember that weird Nidus one about episode 25 or something, where it was just all-ins versus Nidus back and forth and weirdness and BM and all this kind of thing, whereas this game was just weird plays. The strangest Terran build I've seen in a while. Basically just build all the building upgrades. Obviously the auto turrets benefit from the Terran building plating as well, and then just go mass Raven. With PFs, and apparently PF, by the way, with PF I mean Planetary Fortress. The number of times I've said that this game, I've just realised I never actually defined it. Yeah, weirdest build. Oystein going for a much more standard play, but couldn't quite make it work against our Barcode player. To be honest, I'd like to see Oystein, really, what he should have done was pick a tech path and go with it. So perhaps, you know, when he went Ultra Den, build some Ultralisks, or when he went Swarm Host, build a load of Swarm Hosts while you've got the money, rather than just churning out loads of Lings all the time. Or, you know, he went Great Aspire, build some Broodlords, get out all the Corruptors that you need to take out those Ravens, and then build a bunch of Broodlords to deal with all the turrets, and you basically, you win. Like, you can't, like, our Terran player had 2 bases compared to the 6 bases of our Zerg player there, and like, this just ended up being a complete mess for our Zerg player. So, yeah, well, another good game. Thanks everyone for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. I have been RedRipz, your Dreadlock caster, Renegade Master, and I'll be back tomorrow for another episode of CasualCraft, and it's Friday, so I best get some beer in. Yeah, it's a drinking day because it's Friday. So, yeah, thanks once again to everyone for watching. Cheers to you know, any feedback, anything like that would be fantastic. So, thanks, absolutely. And GG to both players. Cheers now. Bye-bye.